What's going on, everybody? My name is Professor Parks, and today I'm going to be interviewing, Kaley Yerman. She is a. I didn't get to your level of transfer. I apologize. Your level of
C5?
injury. T5?
C5.
C5. Okay, she's a C5 since '07 from a car crash. That's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I really, just because you have a couple YouTube videos, I was only able to kind of watch what you had. But you did have a YouTube video where you kind of explained your story, and it was
Yeah,
it
I
was
told the
wild.
story of my accident.
It was wild. Like that is, and you were young. How young were you?
I was 14.
14. Oh my gosh, yeah. Wow. See, I'm thinking about it when I think of like a car crash, I think of like 21 plus, just because everybody's drunk, right?
Yeah,
Right?
nobody was drunk, no drugs, no alcohol, nothing.
Nothing. What
Just
was
stupid kids speeding.
it when they just said just got their license? You guys are kind of hanging out in the back, sort of thing, or what ended up happening with
We
that?
were on our way to a party and the driver was 18-year-old boys want to show off for
That's
girls.
right. That's right.
So he was going like 110 and there was 5 girls in the car, 2 boys. So I mean, the car could only hold 5 people, but we decided to put 7 in there.
Oh, so
And
people were laying on people's laps and stuff.
only one person was on somebody's lap, but we didn't
Okay.
have seatbelts on in the
Yeah.
back seat or
Yeah.
anything. So he was going like 110 on a residential street, I guess. Like I read the police report and they said he was trying to like hit the green light or whatever. It was turning red. So he ended up running the light and hit like a dip. And then the car like went airborne. And then when it landed, like he lost control and the car hit the telephone pole. And like the front where the motor is completely separated from the car. Like it
Unbelievable.
split in half. He hit it so hard.
Unbelievable.
And then 3 of us girls in the back seat, wait, 3 or 4? 4 of us girls in the back seat actually flew out of the car. And so I landed on a girl that was sitting next to me. And
Oh, you landed on top of her.
she was the only girl that landed on the concrete. The other girls landed in the grass. And then, so she landed face down and I landed like face down on her back.
So was
So
there a lot
basically
of really bad injuries then? Like, did it end up getting really bad?
she actually passed away
Mm.
like on impact. She broke my fall. If I would have landed on her,
Just
I
saved
would
your
have.
life.
Mm-hmm.
You saved your life. That's wow. Okay.
And then the other, only one other girl was injured pretty bad, but she's good now.
Okay.
And then the other girl, she only like broke her wrist. And then I only broke my neck. That was it. I didn't break any other bone or anything.
That was it.
And
Just
then
like the C6 or C5.
C5. So
Okay.
what I think happened, like we don't really know, but what I think is when he hit the dip, I like flew up in the air and my head hit the roof of the car and just because it was a burst fracture, so it just smushed
On
my
impact.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it wasn't even from the fall itself. It was from the
I
impact
think
in the
from
car.
actually hitting the roof of the car.
So do you remember that, or it has to be like a blackout kind of thing, or do you remember the actual?
I remember right before it happened,
Okay.
and me and the girl next to me were telling him to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Like
110 miles per hour, right? This is miles per hour. See, I'm in Canada, so kilometers is like the highway is 110. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, so
wow.
110 miles per hour.
Fuck.
So that's really fast.
Okay, right.
And yeah, me and her were telling him to slow down, and he wouldn't slow down. And then from that point, like I black out, but I do remember waking up right after the accident. And that was when I was on top of the other girl, but I didn't know. I was in shock. So I was just like, I woke up and I saw like it was just I remember it was really really bright in my face, and there was like a man, and he's like, "Do you know what happened?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "You were in an accident." And I said, "Okay, can you call my mom?" And I gave him the number to my house. He called my house, and I blacked out again. And I woke up to somebody like screaming like my baby, well it was that girl's mom.
That you ended up landing on.
My parents and her, it was her foster parents, but pretty much her parents,
absolutely, you know? Absolutely.
They showed up before the ambulance actually got there, so they saw everything. Wow. So her mom was freaking out.
No people to kind of hold her back and kind of be like, you know.
So then I woke up to that, and then I blacked out again, and I don't remember much because I was so drugged up in the hospital and
100%
stuff.
morphine, anything they can do to ease your pain to kind of keep you out of
yeah,
shock.
exactly. And then my dad told me when they were at the hospital waiting for like the doctors to come tell them whatever, you know, and the police were interviewing them and they're like, "Sir, your daughter was on drugs." And my dad's like, "Yeah, the doctors just gave her morphine."
Mhm.
Because they went to interview me after they had already given me morphine, but they tried to say I was on drugs before that. I'm like,
So
no,
why
I
were they
wasn't.
trying to interview you? Just for like a
Because
statement?
well, the guy he broke the law pretty much, you know.
Right, yeah,
And he
they
was
want a statement.
18. Yeah, so he was 18, and since we were underage, he was responsible for us.
I was just thinking, like, he's with a bunch of underage girls. He's trying to impress you guys. He doesn't realize that, yeah, like, because he's an adult, he is actually taking care of you guys, not trying to wheel you guys, right? Like, it's a totally different scenario, especially when you get people into a car like that. Like, yeah.
So he was responsible for us to have our seatbelts on or whatever, you know, whatever happened in that car was
100%
his responsibility.
100%, yeah.
Other than the girl that I landed on because she was 18, so technically she was responsible for herself.
Okay.
So he did end up doing jail time, and he actually only got 3 years for her injuries or her
like
death.
the essential murder, like not murder, but it's like manslaughter. Is it a manslaughter?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
It was vehicular manslaughter.
Yes.
And then he ended up getting 4 years for my injuries.
Oh wow.
So he got more time for what he did to me than for killing somebody.
Because you're an underage and she was an adult. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did he end up kind of, I'm assuming, got off on good behavior a little bit earlier?
Yeah.
Or...
So he took a plea deal for 12 years and he served 10, I think. So it was still a pretty good amount.
I mean, it's wild to consider because there was a death, but at the same time, she was an adult, right?
Yeah, it's just crazy to think that he got more time for my injuries than, you know, for essentially killing somebody.
Yeah, 100%.
And he showed no remorse or anything when we went to court.
In court and whatnot? Yeah. He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he just kind of stood up and was like, because you're allowed to give a statement, you know, and he just kind of said, well, it's not like anything didn't happen to me, because he broke his femur and had like reconstructive surgery on his face or something like that, you know?
Right. Femur is the biggest bone in your leg. My girlfriend, her ex, broke her femur, and she tells me about it all the time, about how this guy had just went through like the worst life experience, but that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, you got paralyzed. He doesn't even know that. He doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, and at that time, I was still like on a ventilator. I was like 70
I was just gonna ask, were you like in like a serious condition in core as well?
Yeah, so I was on a ventilator. I think I weighed probably 70 pounds. I lost a lot of weight, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And then his sister was actually giving me dirty looks in the courtroom. They had to tell her that she was going to be escorted out if she didn't stop
glaring at you.
Yeah.
So was it you, and was there these other girls that were in the car in court as well? Like, it wasn't just you? Like, how many other people, right? Because you said that there was quite a few people. It was you, the 18-year-old, himself, and then a couple others? Yeah,
and then the guy who was in the passenger seat, he was the foster brother of the girl that passed away. He was there.
Oh, okay.
And then his so after the whole accident, the guy, the driver, he was still out, like he wasn't in jail, and he actually tried to run the guy in the passenger seat and his other sister. He tried to run them over, like after.
I can't say I don't disagree or agree, right? Like, it's just, it is what it is, man. I feel like I'd have some fucked up shit too. I'd be like, date on my calendar, like, all right, 10 years, big old red circle, X, right? Start up the old Chevy, here we go, right?
Knock out your bucket list.
That's it. There's a couple things I gotta do before I go. That's wild. Yeah. So how long were you in the hospital for?
I was in the hospital for 3 months. Mm-hmm. And then I never did inpatient rehab.
Why?
I tried to go to like the top spinal cord injury rehabs in California.
Of course.
And none of them would take me. One was because I was on a ventilator and they wanted to switch me to like an older ventilator. And my doctor said absolutely not.
Because you were
that it wouldn't be good for me. Like, it would set me back. But he offered to go teach them how to use my ventilator, and they said no.
The newer one that you were on?
Yeah.
And they just didn't want to go through the process?
Yeah. And so then the other hospital or the inpatient was because they didn't have a pediatrician on staff, so they couldn't take me. Like, I guess
like for like your food and whatnot? Is that what pediatrician is?
Pediatrician, like a doctor for the children.
Oh my god! So they considered you like 14. A child. When I think of, I don't know why. What's for the food? What's for?
That's like a dietitian.
Dietitian. So they considered you like a youth. Wouldn't take you because of that with no pediatrician, and you didn't get the essential like inpatient rehab. There's a lot of like things that you needed to do inpatient.
Yeah, I didn't get to learn like all that stuff that you would learn in inpatient rehab. So I feel like at that part, like I missed out on a lot. Like I don't really know how to do a lot because obviously my hands are paralyzed too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of techniques I needed to learn to be able to do things, and I never got to learn that.
And I'm assuming that even when you're in the hospital, much worse condition, much lighter. Like it's been 07, right? So you've had at that point in time you're weak, a lot weaker, lighter. Like,
yeah.
Do you have much movement in your hands? How much movement do we have in your hands here?
So I have none in my fingers, but okay. I have like
movement?
I use wrists.
No. Oh, okay.
So I just use wrists to pick up like things.
Yeah, okay. Like a two-handed sort of situation. I gotcha.
So I'll do it like this.
Oh, so you got this down pat.
Yeah. So basically, like when you lift your wrist up, your finger and your thumb, since like they train you to keep your fingers bent, like to just, they don't want you to straighten them. So when you pick stuff up, the grip is there.
That's wild. Yeah.
Without using your fingers.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you got your nails done.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, this is my good hand. You can look at this one.
That's right. The other one's got the missing nail, you're saying, yeah.
This is the hand I use the most, so I break a lot of nails.
So are you left-handed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was right-handed, but now my left is stronger.
It's just easier that way. I found that to me too. When I was in the hospital for a while, my hands were in the same situation as yours. It took a long time for my nerves to regain because mine was an autoimmune disease. It was just a regeneration of nerves over healing of like a surgery or whatever it may be. So through time, like I started out, could only move my head, and then it was coming down. Like eventually I was like, the shoulder could move. And then this shoulder could move, and then it was it was wild. Yeah, I spent 7 months in the hospital. It was like a long 2 months at this hospital, and then transferred over to a rehabilitation hospital, and then like did the whole like wheelchair skills and stuff. But yeah, while I was there, like my hands were on fire, like burning acid because I could feel like my nerves were recovering. It just felt like fire. It just felt like my hands were burning all the time. But like I could feel like, oh my gosh, I could feel right here today. And I was so concentrated on like, oh my God, what's going on today? What's going on today? And like, it was wild. It was such a wild.
But that has to be like, that's like everything to get your hand function back.
Everything. You know? Like my hand still shakes. Like I don't have like, I mean, I can move and I'm very blessed for that. But like even just pulling my hand out like that was tough. Like I find that like I close a fish, like it's like almost arthritis-y to really, there we go. And then I can kind of move it around again. There's things that I don't remember that were similar than when they were before. Like I don't remember having a proper hand anymore. Like, I used to be a pitcher in baseball. I'm like, man, I don't remember being able to do that. My hand's so messed up. But
it's wild, huh?
It's wild the amount of adjusting to take, because I've only been, this is 3 years. This is 3 years for me. So like I want to say that that's kind of new. Like a lot of people, you know, like a lot of people I talk to have a lot of time spent in the chair.
I'm going on in March. It'll be half my life in a chair.
There you go, and that's like that's the craziest way to think it. Like you've spent exactly half of your life in a chair, half your life out of a chair. Like I've spent majority of my life out of a chair. So this is still getting adjusted to that big time.
Yeah, 3 years is still. I feel like that's really new.
Yeah. Did you just have a birthday? Did your birthday recently there, or do you just like unicorns?
Oh. No, those are just balloons from Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's nice. I forgot about Valentine's Day. That's nice. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I ended up, what did I get? I got my girl some vinyls because she's into like rock vinyls, 9-inch nails and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Have you ever, like we talked about you not really playing sports or anything like that, but I saw that you did some adaptive surfing.
Yeah, I did do that one.
What was that like?
I want to do it again because I don't know why, but we did not put a life jacket on me, and I can't swim. So
did you bail? Did you fall off the surfboard?
No, but I kept falling on my face. So the company that I did it with, they're kind of newer to doing the adaptive surfing, and they didn't have much experience with quadriplegics. So what you're supposed to do on the surfboard is have like a wedge or something to hold, keep my elbows in, so I wouldn't fall on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't have that, and we didn't put a life jacket on me, which obviously that was stupid. I don't know why, but so my brother actually had to get in the water too to kind of help hold me up.
With these guys that were with you?
Yeah.
Right.
My elbows kept slipping out, so I was falling on my face. So water was going up my nose and in my mouth, and it was still fun, but it was like an experience.
For sure. I actually have a picture of that on Instagram somewhere. You have a picture of that. I don't have the picture. You do. But to find it. But that's wild. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I can do surfing. I would love to do surfing. Am I sharing the screen right now?
Too. Huh?
Am I sharing screen right now?
No, I don't see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta find these surfing photos of you. Because it was really cool when I saw, there they are. I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna take a look at your surfing photos here. Screen 2. 1. There.
There it goes. Yeah, see, that's my brother and my mom.
That's wild.
That was how I fell on my face too.
Is that you guys laughing kind of about it? It looks like your brother's laughing over here.
We're like, okay, we're done. That's enough.
Going out into the water.
Yeah. I actually went with my friend, and he's a lower level, like, paraplegic, and he did really well.
Wow, okay.
He had a lot of fun. I mean, I had fun, but I also felt like I was gonna die.
It's scary.
Yeah.
So they've got this little handlebar here attached, eh? To kind of help you out? Okay, I see.
Well, so if I had hand function, I should hold on to that, but I didn't, so.
Oh, I was thinking like tuck your hand underneath or something. I don't know, hold on for dear life, whatever you can do. Nice wheelchair. Yeah. I like these beach wheelchairs. I'd check those out when I was in Florida as well.
Yeah, they're really cool. That was my first time being in one.
Okay, yeah, they were awesome. I like those a lot. I really wish I knew how to.
It also took 3 people to put me in that wetsuit.
The wetsuit?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
It was so hard to get on.
Oh, stop screen sharing. There we go. That's awesome. That is super awesome. I'd like to, I'd definitely try to do some wheelchair surfing. Do you use a manual wheelchair or use an automatic wheelchair mostly?
I have both. I use my power chair like when I'm at home, and then when I go out, I use a manual chair.
Okay. So
I don't have the vehicle to take the power chair, so.
It's just too big. They're huge. Like when I was going out to go get my license and my car and like deciding on what I wanted to get, it was either like get like a giant van for a potential like an automatic chair, or I just stick with the car and like stick with my manual and try to get stronger, right? Like I always figured that the longer that and the more that I can use my manual chair, the stronger that I'm gonna get, because I'm forced to, right? Like I have to, like regardless of what's going on in life, like I have to get stronger because I'm forced to.
Plus, it's just better because if you want to go with your friends or other people in their cars, obviously they're not going to take your huge power chair.
So you got your transfers down and stuff like that, like since everything's been kind of going on, like how are your transfers?
No, people just
help you out there.
Honeymoon carrying.
There you go. I like that. Honestly, like transfers were one of the hardest things that I had to experience learning. It's such a, like, you had to carry your whole body weight, and especially when you don't have use of your hands, it almost doesn't make sense a lot of times.
Yeah, I was practicing it in therapy for a while, and then like COVID happened and everything, but the technique is just so confusing to me.
Yeah.
They're like, you have to put your head over your knees, and
terrifying.
I'm like, all on my face. Like,
and they're like, come on, it's okay. I know it's scary. It's scary, but we got you. See, I'm right here, Brandon. You're just like, you're so scared. You're just like, I don't want to do this right now. No. Head over knees. You're like, you got to get your butt in the air to turn your body.
Yes.
I'm like, do you understand that I mean, especially in your situation, you're like, do you understand that I came to here from a physical injury? Exactly. Do we want another physical injury? Like, I don't trust you. I didn't trust the guy driving, just like I don't trust you.
I'm like, I don't want to fall on my face. The last thing I need is to knock some teeth out or something.
Yeah,
like,
this is the money maker. Okay, yeah, this is the money maker. We're fashionista. Come on, that's too funny, man.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm just really scared. I don't know. My head's really heavy. My torso's super long.
My head's really heavy.
Like, I got this big ass head. It's pretty hard, so you know, hold it up.
Stop it. That's so funny.
Always like, I'm like a bobblehead, you know, just
stop
if my head goes, then I'm going.
The second I shaved my head, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have a big ass head, man. This is nuts.
No, it's not really big.
That's funny. You are absolutely covered in tattoos, eh?
Yeah.
So what made you, like, did you start getting your first tattoo on your leg and just was like, screw it, I'm gonna cover the whole thing?
I got my very first tattoo when I was 18 and it was on my foot.
On your foot? And you just didn't feel it and you're like, whatever, let's go? Like, you have no feeling, where is your level of injury? It's like probably like chest down?
So yeah.
Okay, chest down. Okay. Do you have any like blotchy feeling at all? Like sometimes I have like, I can feel a little bit lower here in my leg, but then I can't hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like it can't, yeah. Because usually it's not a perfect line. It's never just like a perfect line, right?
Yeah.
It's always different nerves doing different things.
Yeah, like when I got my chest tattoo, I could feel like the upper part and then like the sides over here.
Yeah, you're about your sternum, which is vibrating your whole body. No way you can get away from that.
My abs were spasming so bad.
Yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, you're covered right up here. Let's get a couple of, like, you got your legs are inked up. You got it all going on. I wanted to do that myself. I want to get my legs going as well because I got a whole bunch of arm tats, but I only got one leg tattoo so far. And I really
my leg sleeve is definitely my favorite.
Huge. It's like your whole leg, eh? How long did that take you?
It's been a lot of sessions.
I bet. I'm just trying to find a good picture. Here's a decent picture. Like, wow, look at that. That's There's got to be even better picture because you there. Look at that. How do you even know how much you put into your leg sleeve? What is that? What is that? That's a castle. Is that from Disney? Castle.
Yeah, the whole leg sleeve is Disney.
No freaking way.
Yeah, so it has.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
I like The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Or Cinderella. I mean, my arm sleeve is all Cinderella.
Oh, is it all the color?
Yeah.
See if we get a good arm sleeve picture. You've got lots. Yeah, you are a little fashionista. You're all over it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Barbie, what's this? You just find this picture?
Somebody photoshopped it for me. I put it on his shirt.
It.
If you go up to the picture right above it.
Oh, no freaking way. This is amazing. See, this is like the only way to live our lifestyle. You know what I mean? Embrace it.
Yeah.
You know, embrace this lifestyle. Freaking Hot Wheels shirt. Like, stop it. I love it. Screw it, man. Love it. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I'm really happy that you are so, like, I don't know, like I've talked to so many people, especially that have transverse myelitis, that are just down in the dumps, and like I wouldn't mind getting those type of people on these podcasts and like maybe just trying to talk them up a bit, but having somebody like you with such a crazy story, and then also just to embrace it just by saying fuck it, because I can't feel my legs, I'm gonna get them all tattooed, right? Like that's
exactly what I said. I'm gonna do the whole leg sleeve.
Yeah. Did you have any spasming at all?
Yeah, my spasms, especially like on the back of my calf and then like my inner thigh, my spasms were really bad. When he did the whole back of my calf, I had to be on my stomach. Okay. My whole body spasmed the whole time. No, they have your friend holding you down or something? No, he just, like, everybody always asks, but he just tattoos right through it. Like, all my lines are super clean. Like it looks like you couldn't even tell I was having any spasms, but because everybody always asks, they're like, well, my artist won't do it through the spasms, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess my artist is good because he just does it right through.
He just went right through it. Yeah. Good for him. Are you working at all right now?
No, I go to school though.
Oh, no way. For what?
My major is psychology. I'm on my last class and then I get my associates.
So what is your like ideal career then? Like what comes out of a psychology degree?
I would like to be like a victim's advocate or something like that.
So perfect. Like it just in these types of jobs line up so perfectly with that. Like I was looking into trying to get something into the hospital too about talking with people, like maybe like a quote unquote social worker or something like that.
Yeah.
But COVID came and now I'm just sitting here like, oh no, I might as well talk to people on podcasts and just have a good time while I'm doing it, right? Like I mean,
I do it a lot, like on social media, so I'm like, might as well make a career.
I was so happy that you said to join me and talk about this. This is good.
Yeah, I just figured like I want to do something where I like helping people.
Yep.
But I remember when I was in the hospital and like these counselors would come talk to me. I'm like, you have no idea what I'm going through. How are you going to tell me how to handle this? Like, you don't know.
So do you think that if you had somebody in your situation to talk to you, you feel a little more comfortable?
Somebody I could relate to and be like, oh, okay, you did it, so I can do it.
Yeah. I think that you should have had more time in hospital. Like, I think that you should have had some rehab and some serious help because that, it took you out too early. Like, I was in hospital for 7 months. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I think too.
That seems like a long time, but at the same time, like I think of it now, like I was like, I needed that. Like I needed every day that I could have because there was many days where I didn't feel well and I couldn't do rehab that day. And I had to stay in bed and I would miss out on a day of rehab. And when it comes to you, that's a lot. Like that one day of rehab is a lot if you're only going to allow me 3 fucking months.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's not okay.
While the 3 months that I was in there, the rehab I was getting was like, okay, we're gonna stretch your legs and stretch your arms. Like
such bullshit, man. They'd have like a they'd have like a trainee come in, be like, hey, how was your day? How you like stretch out your fingers and shit. Just do some bullshit.
Stupid shit.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You guys stretch your legs, but maybe I can learn to do something too, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever broken any bones? Other than, obviously, your back?
No, I've only fallen out of my chair twice.
Okay. So, like, no injuries?
One time was too much tequila.
Too much tequila to the floor. I like it.
I didn't have any wheelie bars on, and I guess I thought I could do a wheelie, but I just wheelied right back onto my head.
Stop it. So. I've been there. I just recently took my wheelie bars off just to try to be a man about it, but I've picked up a couple casualties, you know?
Yeah. Right, straight onto the head.
Or like straight on if somebody's like pushing you, so you don't realize that they're like pushing you and you just flip backwards or whatever. It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, then the other time was my dad was like wheeling me off a step and he went to close the door, but I don't know why he kind of left me half off the step and I just fell back onto my head.
Bomb! Yeah, just bomb. Really look bad, like, yo. Thanks.
I'm like, why did you do that?
Thanks for that. Yeah, that hurt.
He felt really bad, so.
Oh, of course. Anybody that like puts you in any harm's way, that's when even my buddies, when they try to like lift me up, a couple of their houses aren't accessible, so you have to get like 4 dudes or 3 dudes, 2 in the back, 1 in the front, or kind of thing to get you up the step kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're all just like, are you good, Brandon? Everybody, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, each step, just lifting and going. And I'm like working with them because they don't want to harm you. Like just imagine like you were to like fucking really hurt somebody who's already hurt, man. I don't know. Wow.
But I also think it's funny that a lot of people think that we're so fragile.
And that's sort of like bringing people like you onto the show is like showing that we can just live perfectly fine. Like we're here, we're hanging out. We may need assistance here and there. We're not fragile. We're not like slow. Like there's a lot of us that aren't slow. Like not all of us are, like blowing bubbles or whatever. Like things happen. I've seen some shit, when I was in the hospital, like these types of things, you can end up in a situation. I had a guy, his name was Ian, that he was telling me that he was a tetraplegic, so it was like neck down his injury, and he he was so funny, man. He was like one of those business guys that basically was like a male Karen, let me talk to your manager type of guy. And he was just like, he's like, you want me to tell you what happened to me? I pushed too hard when I was taking a shit. I stood up, I passed out, and I woke up in the hospital. And I was like, pardon fucking me? And he's like, yeah, man. Apparently I laid down there for 6 hours, and there's just laying a pool of blood. Somebody found me, picked me up. Like, yeah. And I was like, dude, you were just...
Wait, so that's really what happened?
Yeah, he was pushing too hard. Like, blacked out when he stood up. You know, it was fucking and broke his neck, hit his neck on the toilet or on something hard, like maybe the bathtub or whatever it may be.
Wow, but that must have been one intense shit.
Yes.
Like, that is a lot.
That's the definition of an intense shit. Don't push too hard, ladies and gentlemen. All right, just hang out. It's either like hemorrhoids or break your fucking neck.
Yeah, whichever one.
That's it. That's
crazy.
Yeah,
it's wild. I think a lot of people do. I don't know if you get this, where people will talk to whoever you're with instead of you.
Like in ordering shit, when you're like ordering stuff at a restaurant, or like, what does he want?
Does she want?
Yeah, well, he or she want. Like, okay. Yeah, my buddies just don't say shit. They just laugh. They're like, you didn't even realize that he will pull you out of this chair, or down to his chair, like. No, people just need to be a little bit more aware of the fact that the chair doesn't signify anything. Like there's so many different levels of injury. Like when people see me like transferring to my car and doing stuff like that, they're fucking flabbergasted. Like there's been a couple of situations where I'll be waiting for my girl in say like a 14 or like a grocery store parking lot in the handicapped parking spot, and I've had people come out to me and be like, buddy, you're not supposed to be there. And I'm like, look, just because I look young and beautiful doesn't mean I don't deserve to be in this handicap spot, because go check it out, pull out your little handicap card. You're like, look, all you saw was the nice car, the young kid, and you assume bullshit. You assume that this guy's being an asshole by parking the spot, but you have no idea what my story is. You have no fucking clue.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you want to see my legs?
Do you want to see my legs? Like, that's it. You want me to pull my leg above my head? Because I can fucking do that for you. I can do that for you if you want me to. Like, it's just,
Yeah. Does your girlfriend ever get that, like, oh, he's so lucky to have you?
Not really. So lucky to have you. I don't really know. I don't think so. She doesn't talk about what people.
Whenever I've been in like past relationships and I'm out and like wherever at the bar, I don't know, wherever, and they'd like to tell them, "Oh, she's so lucky to have you," because they're helping me. I'm like,
I don't think so. I honestly think that they would just, yeah. I think that she would just laugh and be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, there's no.
Like, so stupid.
Yeah. I don't think that she would say anything. Like, I think that she'd just be like, "What?" Like, I think she'd just look at me. Like, did you see that? Like, so ridiculous, and it's just so dumb. Like, it's so I don't know. The lack of knowledge is redonkulous.
I don't know, or like I know it must be so hard, and I'm just like. Okay, like you don't know anything about my life or what whoever I'm with is doing for me. You see them helping me take a shot, like
yeah. You just get the straw. Hard. All you need is a straw up to your mouth, right? Like, hook me up here, buddy. I need some help. Honestly, I get mad for weird things. Like, I'll get mad when like I'm going to take my dog out. So like I have my dog, I have his leash, and I like just tie his leash to the side of my caster chair there, and we'll go. And it's like constant. It's constant. Anytime I see a group of old people, because I live in kind of like an older folks building, anytime I see a group of people, they're like, "Oh, there you go, Speedy, slow down there, Speedy." And I'm just like, look, man, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you wouldn't say that to me if I was just walking my dog. It's not funny. Yeah, like I may be in a shitty mood or whatever it may be, but like I don't want to hear that. Or like, oh, you need like 10 more of those things, because he's a little dog. You need 10 more of those things. You pull him around Husky. I can't even tell you how many times. Yeah, because I'm a sled. Like, it's funny the first 100 times, man. Like, that's it. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, I discussed with my last buddy that I wanted to go out, and I've seen this on this guy Wheels to Walking YouTube, that he goes out and he has a sign and says, "Ask me anything." and he's just sitting on his wheelchair, and he's sitting in the middle of like the mall, and people will go up and be like, well, what happened to you? And I just like asking like, or ask wheelchair questions, but like genuinely just getting a sense, like instead of staring at me from a mile, just come and ask me, man. Like if your kid is screaming at me, ask me why I'm in this chair, I don't know, maybe as a parent, like just go up so he's informed for the future. Because
that's what I try to tell parents, because they always want to be like, shh. Don't ask that. I'm like,
Jimmy.
Yeah, like, you know? you're making me like a taboo subject for your child because you're shushing them when they're asking.
Absolutely.
They're just curious. I mean, now when you're past a certain age, it's like, okay, maybe you just I don't know, wonder to yourself or something. Because sometimes those questions they ask, I'm like, that's stupid. Don't ask me that. Or when they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, what's wrong with you? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What's wrong with you, buddy?
Like, it doesn't make no sense.
What happened to you? I get what happened to you a lot.
Yeah.
What happened? And I'd be like, well, what happened to you? You're old as shit. I just hang out with a lot of old people. I don't know. I have just so much spite towards old people because it's all that's in my building, right? I think that's just, and I think it's because these old people are out and they're just fucking normies and they're just walking around with their legs all justified and shit. And I'm like, look, I'm
talking about you speeding.
Yeah, listen here, Slowy. I don't know. You call me Speedy here. Move to the slow lane. Get out of my way.
Call him Turtle or something.
I don't know. Turtle, yeah.
I don't know.
Much.
People are just, I don't know. I feel like people, I guess because we're sitting down, they feel more comfortable asking us whatever they want. Maybe it's just me, but they just come up to me and ask me some of the weirdest things. And I'm like,
I feel like throughout a conversation like that, you feel like you're literally being looked down on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want, if you're asking fucking stupid questions that, you know, I don't know, man. There's a difference between what happened to you and be like, I don't know, man. Just, what's your name? Hi.
But have you got where they come up to you? Can you feel this? Can you feel this? And they start touching you?
I would never be I would kill somebody. People don't touch me.
Yeah. I'm like, can you not touch me? Like,
people don't touch me. Yeah, I think, you know what? And we know what the worst part about it is, and I think the lack of your hand control gives people, they think that they have that will to do that. They're allowed to do that because you don't have anything to say about it. You know what I mean? I think your lack of hand control is why they would do that, which is stupid, which is wild. Why is this over here?
I remember I was out at a club one time and some guy from like across the freaking room came up and grabbed me from my handlebars and literally tips me all the way back past my willy bars. And I was like gonna fall on my head, and my friend like
I just grabs you and launches, kind of pulls you back.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he thought it was funny.
Yeah. I could totally see something like that happening. Yeah, I could totally see something like that. And like that's an immediate. Like, if you do something like that, it's a problem. So why would you do that in the first place? Like, if you did that if you saw something like that happen to one of your friends, like, don't just grab. Especially with the females, you got to realize, man, like, it's not as easy for you guys to defend yourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
but I feel like you touching my chair is essentially you touching me.
You're touching me, man. 100%. Yeah, yo, honestly, that is the best because your chair is an extension of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, if you're gonna grab me and tip me back, I will feel like my stomach sink, and I'll get fucking terrified. I'm on four wheels and I'm sturdy. The second I'm not on four wheels, think about you're driving a car. If that car's not on four wheels, it's gonna be a fucking issue. All right? Exactly. So don't touch my four wheels. That's right.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Just don't touch me. Like,
I can't believe that people actually come up to you and like touch you. That's kind of weird, man.
Yeah, people are weird.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
I don't know. People do the weirdest stuff. I had a guy come up to me. He was actually in a chair himself, and he told me he was like a Buddhist monk, and he wanted to like pray for me. And I was like, okay. Like, we were in a parking lot. He was transferring out of his car, and I was gonna get into my car. And so he said he was going to pray to heal me. And I mean, in my head, I was thinking, why didn't you heal yourself? But, you know, whatever, go ahead.
You're paralyzed too, dude. Like, I don't
I was like, you can heal me, but you can't heal yourself. I don't understand.
You monk yourself to health.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So he started touching me like touching my arms, touching my legs. He like bent down and was like touching my feet, and I was like, okay, I'm really uncomfortable now. And my mom was with me, and she kind of like told him like, okay, that's enough. And like he started rubbing my legs, and I was like, dude, like this is weird. So like my mom kind of pushed him away.
Yeah, is your mom the kind of like territorial, like don't touch my daughter type of woman?
I mean, she was fine, but once he started like touching me like that, it was just, I don't know, it was like really uncomfortable. It was weird. And so my mom opened the car door because she was going to get me in the car, and he started like rubbing the car door. She ended up like, eventually he got out of the way. She put me in the car. As we were driving off, he like bowed down in front of our car and was like,
on his chair, yeah. Just like freaking, just bowed down like this and
but shit. But he went all the way to the ground.
Bald head and monked out.
It was so weird.
Holy shit, man! What the fuck?
That's what I said. I was
it's like not only, and I feel I constantly feel terrible for like the stories I hear that happen to women because it's just ruthless. But like a woman in a wheelchair, you're just like, I know this is fucked. Like I get paralyzed monks that come after me. Yeah, like I've never experienced that. Like I had one crazy lady. I was
so in shock. I couldn't even really say anything because I just like I couldn't believe what was happening. I was like, what the hell?
I can't believe what I'm listening to right now.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't even know what he was saying, like some random words, but I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, it's fucked up. If you could turn back time and tell so you said you were 15 when that happened?
14.
14? You turn back time and tell your 14-year-old self that you were going to be paralyzed for the rest of your life. What do you think that you could tell her to get yourself prepared? There's no turning back. But I'm just saying, like, if you could just prepare yourself for this hospital journey, for this everything that's about to go down.
For me, like the best advice, and this actually came from my mom, because after my accident, I went through like that depression.
Everybody does.
I wouldn't even go in my front yard. Like I didn't want anybody to see me. I was so embarrassed of just like, I was embarrassed of how I looked. I was just embarrassed of the whole situation. Yeah. And my mom told me, she said, look, this is your life now, and either you're going to live it or you're just going to let life pass you by and you're going to regret it when you're older. And I was like, you're right. And that was the only way I started, like, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do this, you know? So I guess something along those lines.
So you tell yourself that exact line your mom told you. So you feel as if that when you heard that from her, you're just like, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's it. That was kind of the kick in the ass that I needed.
Like me sitting here being sad about it, what good is that doing?
Nothing. Means nothing. Does nothing. Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Do you experience any physical pain, like to this day? Like, do you have pain at all? Nerve pain, physical pain by any means?
It's not. Sometimes I'll have muscle pain, like just in my neck or my arms, depending on what I do, but not really. Like I don't get nerve strain, pain.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like I'm really lucky not to have nerve pain, because I know a lot of people that do, and they just say it's horrible.
Yeah, I take like handfuls of pills a day, just like from the prescribed. Yeah, like prescribed, like everything, man. Lyrica, freaking all the crap, all the nerve pain medication, just trying to stop it, and it's still. I have this little thing. It's crack screen, but it controls I have a spinal implant in my back, solely for the nerve pain. I've never had any surgeries because of my like paralysis. I had this surgery because they placed a pacemaker sized battery in my back, connected to some leads that lead to my area of injury. And basically what it does, you've obviously probably know what a TENS unit is, right?
Yeah.
So basically what it is, it's an internal TENS unit. So I can turn this on and turn it up and down, and like have it, basically what it's trying to do is I feel that TENS unit vibration in my legs, and it's trying to just counter this pain. Like,
does it feel weird?
It fucking sucks, man. It feels like, I don't know if you could ever remember, like you've lived half your life out of a chair, half out. Do you ever remember being like in a massage chair growing up at all? Mm-hmm. That feeling, it kind of feels that, but when you turn it up, it like hurts. It like because it's a TENS unit. I can't even say massage here. Fuck that. It feels like a TENS unit. Yeah, it feels like a fucking TENS unit, and it zaps me. Yeah, it's electricity. So people are like, oh, I bet you have that. That probably helps you. I'm like, not when I'm at 19. I'm like, fucking, it really hurts. Like, the whole premises behind this is to counter pain with more pain. It's fucked. Like, that's the only.
So it doesn't help or no?
If I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't have it. Like, you know what I mean? It's very, like, I went through depression myself, right? And I went through my my time of just saying, like, why the fuck me? And I don't want to be here or do this anymore, especially not with this pain. I always say to myself and everybody else, if I had a genie and he just said to me, look, you got one wish. You can... I can cure your paralysis, but not your pain, or I can cure your pain, but not your paralysis. I'm fucking sitting in this chair for the rest of my life. No pain-free, nerve pain-free. Yeah. I'm laughing in this chair for the rest of my life. Because it's like, these are the types of things that you don't realize. Or not you specifically, but the world doesn't realize it. People don't, just like that lady that came up to me and bitched at me for being in the wheelchair spot. Not only am I sitting here in this spot because I should be, but I'm sitting here in pain and in a spot. So when you come up to me, I'm pissed. Like, I'm already kind of in the not a good mood. Like, nobody's in a good mood when they're in pain. You know, like, that's why, like, I'm so blessed to have the people around me understanding that, like, he's in pain. He could probably be in a shitty mood. I already had an attitude prior to being in pain and all this happening. So they're like, okay, Parkinson, he's in a bit of pain. You see me fucking with my stimulator, or I'll do this thing where I like rub my stomach, and I guess this is where my injury is. And it's so weird. One day I was scratching my stomach and I felt tingling in my leg, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I scratched on the same side. I felt tingling in this leg. So, like, ever since then, anytime I have pain in certain legs, like, say if my left leg hurts right now, you just see me going like this. And from your angle, what the fuck does that look like? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look very fucking good, right? So, yeah, like, I really gotta watch myself sometimes. But this is the type of shit that I deal with. I live stream. This is what my camera looks like all the time. I'm sitting here gaming like this. Fucking, you know, like, it doesn't always look the greatest.
You better scoot back a little.
You better, maybe we'll just fucking, you know, like, hand is above, I'm just rubbing the belly, you know, like, these are the types of things that we deal with. So I'm happy to hear that you're not in pain, because pain is no bueno in my life. There it is. There you go. Pain is like the worst thing that I experience in my life, hands fucking down.
Yeah, hands down. I notice a lot of people that do have nerve pain have a lot of like depression and stuff like that. And I can only imagine. Because
you can't just escape the fact that you're bound to the chair. You're bound and in pain. Give me one. And it's your own body, you're hurting yourself. I think that's what it comes down to. Like, in a long period of time of pain, like if I sit there for a couple hours in pain, I'm like, I start talking to myself like, really? Really? You're gonna keep hurting yourself? Really? What? Why? And I'm like, fucking going mental.
Like you're like, okay, so I can't feel my legs, but I can feel this pain. Like,
biggest insult to injury on the planet. Biggest insult to injury on the planet. And yes, and people when I try to explain to people, it is a 47-minute conversation. People be like, so you can't feel your legs, but you can feel pain? And I'm like, holy fuck, man, I said this 20 minutes ago. Yes! And like, and then I started trying to explain the stimulator. Nobody gets it. And like, you understand it because you've been in the system. You know people that have nerve pain. You know what phantom pain is.
It's like when somebody gets their leg amputated, they still feel pain in the leg that's not there.
That's not even there. Yeah, it's fucking scary, man. It's scary. And these people are usually in a shitty mood. A lot of the time, depressed, shitty mood. So if you know, like, it really helps, I think, to do stuff. Like, I'm not even lying, like 20 minutes, you said like, give me 20 minutes, and then 45 minutes later, you're like, I'm good to go. And I was in pain. I was like, shit, I'm in pain right now. Just keep doing your makeup or something. Like, I don't know what you're doing. I figured you were doing your makeup because you love doing your makeup all the time. And
I'm over here trying to put my eyelashes on.
I love that you are into doing your makeup. You have a whole video on doing your makeup. And I think that is so, I think that you should do more of that. I really think that you should do more just video tutorials on doing your makeup, especially if you're going to do it every day. Like, women would love to see that shit. Somebody that's in your situation that has the lack of hand control, people would love it. I love to see that shit. right? Like I would love to see that. Like I have family and friends that have like women in wheelchairs that probably who don't know that they could do stuff like that, like do their wrist to bend and grab that, use that to pick up the lash. Like that's a process. You do that every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just randomly discovered that one day. Like I had my spoolie and it got stuck on my eyelash and I was
What's it called? A spoolie?
Yeah, a spoolie. So it's like what you use to brush your eyebrows.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, my eyelash is stuck to this. Well, I can just put the glue on my eyelid and then just use this.
So sick. So sick. Like that's
because
incredible.
I tried picking up my eyelash and my hands are like, it's a process if I try to do it with my hands. So I just was like, oh, this works. And then I posted the video and everybody's like, oh, duh, like we could do that. And I'm like, yeah. But even like able-bodied people are like, oh,
I was just gonna say, able-bodied people could probably adapt and be like, yo, I could have something in my hand and like do that in like lash. Like you could do like a 2-step process. We go stick, brush, gone. We're out the door, ladies. Like it's a whole, it's like, yeah. We go wipe, stick, brush, out the door. We're out of here. That's so funny.
That's what they're on my TikTok video. I have a lot of like able-bodied ladies telling me like, I can't even do my eyelashes. I'm gonna try that, and I'm like, yeah, do it.
There you go.
If it works for me, I don't see why it wouldn't work for you.
Yeah. If you had to have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would you be? Who would you have dinner with? 3 people.
Oh gosh, I'm
famous, doesn't matter, like dead or alive. Like who do you kind of look up to? Like kind of like an influencer maybe that you grew up being like, okay, like I really like enjoy the fact that this person made this content and it helped me out, or
I don't even know because I don't really like, I guess I don't watch a lot of like influencers or like YouTube
or anything like that.
Yeah, like I watch TV and I watch movies, but not too much. Like I do watch a lot of Facebook lives of like girls doing their makeup, but it's not like.
What about music? What about musicians? What about what kind of music do you like? Who's your favorite musician?
I like ratchet music. Like
you wouldn't like to have a couple ratchet hoes around you, just popping some bottles of Henny, doing some crazy shit.
Like Too Short, you know, just.
All right, there's Too Short. Okay, we got 2 shorts out there.
I'll take, let's see, maybe Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay. Yada.
She can twerk a little.
I like that. 2 Short, Megan Thee Stallion. What do we got? We're getting loaded.
Maybe I'll pick like somebody not so crazy.
Somebody's got to be that mama of the group or something. You got to take care of the group.
I guess. Well, see, no, I would want to pick like Kim Kardashian or something, just so I could be like, how did you get all that money? Like, teach me the ways. You know.
I mean, I could probably send you the link.
But okay, maybe I'll pick Kylie then, because
that's a little better. That's a little better.
I told my mom, I said, Mom, why weren't you that type of manager? Like, you could have leaked my videos
let's go.
too.
Let's fucking leak this. Come on.
Yeah.
That's so rich. Funny. Like I said Will Smith because I love Will Smith. I just think that he's a great individual. Not only as an actor, he's fucking hilarious, but he's like a pretty influential person. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I think
he seems like a really nice guy too.
Down to earth, genuine guy, right? And then I had to have like a party person, so I was like Machine Gun Kelly, my favorite artist. I pop him in there. I know a lot of people are off on the fence about him. And then Joe Rogan, just to kind of keep the conversation flowing.
My mom loves Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, man. He's the man.
She's like, if Joe Rogan says to do it, well, you know, like take whatever medicine or whatever, I'm going to do it.
89.9% of the world will start doing it. Do you know how many fucking people are just starting to microdose mushrooms all of a sudden? Everybody's microdosing mushrooms. It's just like, what the fuck, man? It's nuts. Everybody's doing podcasts. I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Right? I only did this because I watch Joe Rogan and I watch like Bert Kreischer. I watch comedians.
Oh, I met Bert Kreischer.
You're lying.
I swear I partied with him. I thought I could take Irish car bombs with him.
Holy fuck, yo. I gotta process this. Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear.
Fucking love him. Where'd you meet him? In Florida or some shit?
No, we went to his comedy show it was in Brea, I think, like LA. And he did like a meet and greet after, and then he ended up, there was like a bar at the comedy place, and he ended up coming out and partying with everybody at the bar. And I said, oh, I heard you like Irish car bombs. I'll take one with you.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay. And then 3 later, I passed out in my chair.
Yeah, love it.
But he was a lot of fun. He was super down to earth and like just
hell yeah,
just like a cool guy.
He probably seen your chair was like, I would love to party with this chick. I would love to see what the fuck this chick's up to.
He said, I'm gonna go look up wheelchair porn now.
Yeah, yo, honestly, he and because of like that vulgarity and how funny he is, like he's such a good, like he would be such a good guy to party with. Like he's so ridiculous. It was a lot of fun.
He's like, my mom loves him too, so
yeah,
it worked because my mom was there. You know, she loved it. But
oh my god,
I met Joe Rogan one time too. But it was just like I took a quick picture with him and that was it.
Okay, yeah. Tom Segura is the other guy. He does Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, and Bert Kreischer. They all do the podcast and shit, and like that's what I've been watching. They do the 2 Bears 1 Cave. It's like I love that, man. Me and my buddy, it reminds me of my buddies so freaking much. I love it. Yeah,
my mom and my brother, they're all into that.
That's too funny. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you recently? Funniest thing, because we've been going deep right now. We're getting a little deep. So what's the funny shit that's happened to you? Or anything?
I don't know. I feel like my life has not been very exciting lately.
Do you like COVID? Post-COVID?
Like everything's hasn't really been open here in California.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's not much to do. They barely opened like outdoor dining.
Okay.
And that's it. So I mean, I just kind of hang out with my family and then a couple friends, but
you gotta keep your circle small to keep this the curve flat here, right?
Yeah. So I don't want to get sick, and then I don't want to get somebody else sick.
100%.
Yeah, we thought my grandma had it like not that long ago, and we had been around her, and I was like calling whoever I was around, like, oh, I've been exposed, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like if you have an STD, you know, you have to call
you're gonna call all the hookups and be like, hey, you gotta admit some shit, just like that, like, man.
I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, you could get really sick, like, I don't know, but we ended up not having it, but still, I was like, gosh. Do
you feel as if like have you ever gotten sick post injury? Like, do you have lower immune system? Do you think? Like a lot of people in wheelchair with this disabilities have a lower immune system, right? So
yeah, I have a lot of like. So whenever I get sick, it wants to go straight to my lungs because my lungs are weaker. Like when I was in my accident, my left lung collapsed and then like the ventilator thing and everything. So my lungs are weaker, so it tends to want to go there. But I don't feel like I get sick more than the average person.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I actually feel like I feel like my siblings and like other people they're sick way more than I am.
Right. I find that when I get sick, my pain is so bad. Like I've only been sick twice since my injury. I don't even know what the fuck to call it. Injury. It's an autoimmune disease, so it's like. I just say when my back went out. That's all I say. I just say, and people just look at me like, dude, you're 28 years old. What the fuck do you mean your back went out? But yeah,
it did.
It did. I feel like when I get sick, my pain is mental. The one had to go to the hospital, and I was just like, pump me full of morphine or something, man. Like I don't know, like help me, I'm hurting here. And then they pump me full of so much shit that I just passed out. But yeah, I don't know. It's not good. I don't think I have a lowered immune system. I just think that when I get sick, it's bad.
It gets worse. Yeah,
it's like worse than obviously it was never in nerve pain before, right? So it like gets that bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I try to avoid anybody that's sick or anything like that.
Do you like pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
Savage.
Pineapple belongs on pizza.
You're savage.
It doesn't?
You realize that pineapple is a fruit, right?
Yeah.
Savage.
Okay, but tomatoes a fruit too, and there's tomato sauce.
That is such a fucking throw against the wall topic. Tomatoes only a fruit for the seeds. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Still, it's a fruit.
You know what my papa does with tomatoes? Salt shaker, tomato, crack, 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 and just eats that shit.
Oh, he like
wouldn't do it with an apple? Salt. Would you do it with an apple? Yeah? Oh man, I can't do it. I can't do pot up one pizza.
You have to try everything once. Like, how do you know it's bad unless you haven't tried it? So if I put an apple on a pizza, I would have to try it to know if I didn't like it or not, you know?
Okay. You won't judge a book by its cover, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You'd rather.
I feel like you gotta try it before you judge it. So.
Right. That's funny, man. What is there anything that I haven't asked you or we haven't talked about at all that you think that I should have, that you were kind of expecting me to talk to you or ask you about? I fucking hate my camera's doing some weird shit today.
Mine's doing that too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's like washing our face out. No, it's fine. Sorry. My dad's like working on the other bedroom, so I don't know if is the nail gun too loud?
No, it's all good.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's fine. But no,
we're almost done here anyways. I just wanted to ask you a question here, and
I just expected us just to do what we did. Talk.
Good. I'm glad that you kind of like, I don't know, came on here last minute. Like, we were kind of just figuring it all out. And I just said, fuck it, I want to get some podcasts going this week. So you're at episode number 2, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked having you on here. Honestly, I really did.
Yeah, I had fun too.
Would you want to come back on here at all?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, for sure. Well, maybe we'll have you back on here again. If you wanted to give a shout out to your Instagram here.
Dub_princess.
Dub_princess here. You can go check out her. That's Kaley Yerman. That's like German, but with a Y, right? Yerman.
Yep, and I'm not German.
And she's not German. We discussed that. She, obviously, you can see some fashionista. If there's any other listeners out there, specifically women that are into fashion, or I don't know, maybe just kind of want to have a couple ideas of how to look nice when you're in a wheelchair and kind of strut it out. Obviously, you like your pink, eh?
Yes.
I like that. Is this you going to a show? You got like a see-through shirt on and freaking nipple tassels on? Is that like a party or a show?
That was like when COVID first happened, and I just did random photo shoots in my room.
There you go. Fuck it. And that's what I mean. See, and that's what I mean, listeners. Like, you guys can do anything you want to make yourself feel confident about yourselves. Oh, one thing I did want to ask you. I saw you had a brace here. You went for some sort of surgery? What was that all about?
Yeah, I had tendon transfer surgery.
So what was that? I wanted to ask what that was all about. Like, why and what happened through it?
So basically, I'll just kind of explain it. So like, and your bicep, you have 2 tendons. And since with my injury, I had biceps, but no tricep function, they were able to take one of my bicep tendons and wrap it around to pin it basically where my tricep is. So now I have tricep function.
That's incredible. That's wild.
They were also able to take like the tendon right here, which is your brachioradialis.
Okay.
And they moved it to this wrist because I didn't have wrist function before on this side.
And now you do. Look at that.
So now I do.
What the fuck?
My next one, I'm getting the because I already had wrist function on this side. So I'm going to take the brachioradialis and do it to my thumb. So I'll be able to pinch.
No way. When is that happening?
Well, I've been pressuring my doctor, but he says that we can't because COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
I'm just waiting.
I want to keep in touch. And I want to know about that surgery, and I want to do another podcast post surgery and see how that's going to work, because that's incredible. I think that's a totally wild
he
thing.
said I'll be able to hold up to 5 pounds pinch with just my thumb.
Are you kidding me? That's a game changer for you.
Yeah.
That's such a life changer for you. I hope the best for that. Honestly, Kayley, I hope the best for that. Thank you so much for coming by on Parked and Rekt. I had a great time. And
thanks for having me.
Of course. Take care, eh?
Okay.